This video took ages. Enjoy it, pussy. Alright, what's going on, man? And today I'm going to be telling you the best legends for Apex Legends Season 16. Now I'm going to be doing this in a tier list format. You also got to remember, this is my own opinion. If you disagree with my list, put it in the comments and I'll tell you how wrong you are. Another thing, I'm streaming on YouTube now, so make sure you turn on notifications, and also make sure you guys like this video, and I encourage you to go make your own list. But anyway, without further ado, enjoy the video. Now, to straight up be honest with you, there is no character that is complete dog shit and is in the F tier in this game. But there is also no character that is in the E tier, which, you know, seasons ago you probably would have had your Lifeline and your Revenant and your Mirage. But you know, they've kind of been well balanced. But in D tier, you have Revenant. I mean, to be honest, he's just like the most lackluster character in this game. His silences, albeit good, are really hard to land, and his ultimate is really counterable. You know, with the whole explosion from his ult and the loud rip that it makes. You're going to hear that from a mile away. You're never going to be able to get value out of his ult unless it's a brain dead team if you used ult on its own. The only time you ever get value out of Revenant's ult is when you combo it with another ult, such as Octane's or Ashe's. So yeah, that's why he's in the D tier, because he has no self-sufficiency, but his team play isn't even that good. Now next up is the C tier. We've got characters like Mirage, Crypto, Rampart and Octane. You know, Mirage is only good for taking those like 1v1s, causing chaos, but at the end of the day, like, he doesn't have much team potential. You know, it's what you want in ranked. You want a character that has team potential and solo potential. And Mirage doesn't have that. Crypto is the complete opposite, where he has too much team potential and no solo potential. EMPs can be good for setting up a fight, but like, you gotta watch out and make sure you ain't spending all your time in the drone. You don't want to be too behind, and you're kind of forced into playing snipers, which is sometimes not really what you want to do. It is effective, but you want to be able to be versatile and ranked. Is you don't know how these like dumbasses is gonna play. You can scan the people beacon, as I call it, which shows you where all the people are on the map, which is pretty good, pretty useful for finding fights and figuring out rotates. You know, if you don't have your drone on Crypto, you are actually just the worst character in the game. Like, if Ashe gets destroyed, you're done. Now next up in the C tier, we have Rampart. There isn't much to say about her, to be honest. I mean, her walls can be good for poking. You don't have any versatility, which is a big problem. You can scan beacons, which is really good for finding the next zone, which means you can set up. Her minigun is really underrated ultimate. The minigun does a lot of damage and can break doors, which can be good to like bust out if someone's sitting on a door. The walls amplify your damage, but you know, they can't be used against you, which is the big problem with it. And also, you're highly immobile, and in Apex you don't want to be immobile. You want to be moving all over the place. In Apex you don't want to be too immobile, but you don't want to be too locked down. There's kind of like a sweet spot between the passive and aggressiveness of a kit, and I don't think Rampart really fits into that out of all the controllers. Now next up, she's our passive, which is the minigun passive. Honestly, it's dog shit, because there's no miniguns that are meta right now. You could argue the Devotion is meta, but you need to get every attachment for that gun for it to even be slightly usable. And next up we have Octane. Now Octane's passive, he regens health, goes extremely well with his stim. His class passive, you can see what's in care packages, which is pretty good, and it can be pretty good in those later games when you're wanting to get something out of care package but you don't know what's in it. You know, it kind of eliminates the entire thing where you rotate across the entire zone just to find out it's a fucking purple shield and you guys have red armour. His jump bagged, you're extremely easy to hit while on it. And his stims, like, they make you take damage for getting mobility, which, you know, isn't really what you want, because you're already at a disadvantage in a gunfight. Like, look at Pathy, Bangalore, Wraith. You know, you get the speed boost, you're getting that mobility, but you're not taking that damage, you know, which is why he's probably the worst, like, skirmisher in this game that actually has movement, unlike Mirage. But yeah, let's get on B tier. Now we've got the B tier. The B tier is just full of, you know, fine characters. Like, they don't need a buff or nerf, but like, they're effective. I mean, you can play them, but just know there's always better characters. And first of all, in the B tier, I've got Gibraltar. What a fall from grace, man. This guy used to be OP as shit. You know, the gun shield, one of the best passes in the game, means that like you can take any 1v1 like head on, combined with fortified, and the gun shield, if you guys have equal armor and you hit you guys hit the same amount of shots, you're going to win that gunfight every single time, which is obscene to me. But you know, Maggie and Seer being in the game really destroy this character. You know, being able to cancel what's going on inside the bubble, and also being able to just destroy it with the Maggie ball. It's just an extreme nerf. And also a lot of players have figured out how to just time nades to come down on your head. You know, it's a lot more common knowledge now, and that's going to happen a lot of the time when playing Gibraltar and those higher ranks. Now use ultimate, it's a nuke. It's extremely good. When you throw that shit down, it'll be good for getting some destruction down, you know, getting some damage in before you get into a fight, or even just while you're having a fight, so that it stays in the building, which is pretty good. It can be good for forcing teams off high ground, force to get bubble fights, which is what you want to be doing as Gibby. You want to be able to just take that shotgun and force a bubble fight, as you have the gun shield and the advantage in every fucking bubble fight. He does have the support passive, which means he can, you know, go through blue winds and get extra health, which is pretty good. Next up we got Watson. Now Watson can scan beacon and figure out where the next one is. Goes extremely well with her kit. I'm so glad they put it on the Defense Legends, because, or the controller as they're called in the game, because like it really synergizes well with their kit. They really thought this through. Now the fences are pretty good for zoning off people, you know, making them slow down, or even sometimes just not be able to get into the building at all. As if you get stunned in that fence, you're a free kill. You're free. Her gen is extremely good, as you can throw that down in a corner, suck up grenades, and heal yourself. And her passive is pretty good. I think she has 2 passives. Her shield naturally regens, kind of like Octane, but like half as slow, I'm pretty sure. And she also has the ability to hold 2 ultimate accelerants, which is really nice, a really good feature, as you can use that for getting ultimate back immediately, because when you're Watson and you pop an ultimate accelerant, you get your ult immediately instead of just getting a little bit of ult charge. She's really good in competitive, but for ranked, you want to be sitting in a building all game. You don't want to be setting up half the time, because that's what you're doing as Watson. Like, the longer you are in a building, the more powerful you become. The next up we got Lifeline. Lifeline, like, I think last season I would have put in C tier, but it's just like the small changes really do add up. You know, being able to open blue bins, get that health, she's always been able to do. It's pretty good. Crafting respawn banners, I forgot to say that, with Gibby as well. That's crazy. That's came in clutch once, but when it did, when I've been playing, it's been sick. Like, you can really, like, there's been multiple times where I've been like, oh god, I wish I was on support because I could craft this banner. Her health drone, I don't understand why it's got such a long cooldown. It's like, it's not even that good at the end of the world. I mean, it means you don't have to carry medkits half the time, which is good, but I think it needs a rework for it to actually be powerful. Her ultimate, which is being able to getting the smart loot care package, pretty good. You know, it comes down 2 times, like 10 times faster now or some shit, I don't even know, but it comes down rapid. It's pretty good for farming gold shields and all that, which is really what you want to be doing in life, and you want to be carrying extra cells because you don't have to carry those extra med kits. And then her revive. Lifeline revive, broken. That's just broken. The fact that you can revive 2 people at once without even need to like be near them, and you don't get the stun as much anymore when you initiate it, and they can cancel it as well. It's just such a great ability. Such a great ability. The only problem is you gotta watch out as to where you do it, because if you're getting sniped at from long range and you're trying to res your mate in the open, they're fucking dead. But close range fights, if it's chaotic, you can just tap that and get it, especially with a gold knockdown. Gold knockdown on her is broken. Then we have Horizon. Now Horizon, she's the best character in the game. There is no denying it. You know, being able to have that 100% accuracy in an unnerfed R301, broken. Now, she can't really just press a button, go up, and beam people. She kind of has to think about it now, which is it's nice. It's a nice feature. It's not nice if you're playing Horizon, but it's nice to not be in the receiving end anymore. It's like, or that shit. Like in hindsight, it was absolutely broken. It's taken a lot of fun at Horizon, but she's still a really good character. Her ultimate, Black Hole, you shut that down, and if there's a character in the Black Hole's vicinity, they get sucked in, and you can just shoot them. And also they get highlighted orange. Now, there was one time in rank the other day where I got sucked by Horizon, and we got shot through a catalyst one. Like just as tiny things are, the tiny scans have became ever since the scan nerf. The Horizon can no longer suck people through terrain, which is a bit of a hard nerf, I'm not gonna lie. Because you could, if there was a people playing Watson and they were in the corner of a building, chuck that outside, sucked into a corner, get an arc star in there, you're gone. Her left, the only times I'd ever use it, if I'm healing, try to get on top of a building, or using it on a doorway so people can't come in. And their passive is really powerful too. Having that no falls done, especially off drop, can be really nice, as you can just hit the ground, open that door, get the gun, turn around, miss all your shots, they're gone. You have the entire of what you want to loot to yourself. She does have the skirmisher part, which means she's able to see what is in care packages before she goes near them. Again, I've already said this before, it's an alright passive, it's not good. I think it was the last minute, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't really think about it. Because it doesn't fit Horizon's kit, Mirage's kit, or Valk's. It kind of fits Valk's kit, but in total, it doesn't really fit their kit as a whole. Let's move on to the A tier. To start off with the A tier, we're going to have Caustic. Now Caustic is a pretty interesting character, as he has the Fortified, which only him, Newcastle and Gibby have, and he is also part of the defensive class, which means he can scan beacons. Now if you ask me, I think he's the second best controller at this moment in time. And if you're not playing Catalyst, who's later up in the tier list, you should be playing Caustic, because you also have a controller so you can scan beacon. His abilities is just gas. He has the gas canister and the gas ult. You will be putting these gas canisters in corners and on doors to prevent people to get in. And you also want to be running close range weapons to get the most out of your barrels. And his ultimate should be used for getting aggressive onto teams and denying angles. And his passive is that anyone in his gas gets highlighted red for him, so that they're easy shot for Caustic to take out. Next up in the A tier we got Vantage. Now Vantage passive is having a free times and being able to see what armour people have before she gets into a fight. Her ability is the bird, where you can jump towards it and either slide out of it or get another jump. And their ultimate is a sniper rifle, which recharges every bullet and has 50 base damage, but if you hit them again after they get that damage multiplier on them after being hit by a bullet, they take 100 per bullet. She's a part of the recon category, which means she's able to scan the people beacon and find out where everyone is on the map. What's really a big downside to her though is she has one of the biggest hitboxes in the game, but no fortified. Next up in the A tier we got Bloodhound. Now Bloodhound has been reworked in the new season. He has the scan and he's Hunt of the Beast. He's passive Hunter's Tracker. He's part of the same class as Vantage, so he can scan the people beacon as well. With his scan, they get revealed for a second and then it's a hexagon, or just like Seer. And his ultimate makes him extremely fast and puts a white bird right in front of him. Now these white birds are really powerful, as if you interact with them or scan them, you instantly get your scan back and you see where the nearest team is through arrows on the top of your map. Next up is Fuse. Now Fuse is part of the assault, which means he can get access to assault bins and he can carry extra ammo. His knuckle clusters, which is his ability, are good for denying angles and causing chaos. His passive means he can hold 2 grenades instead of 1, which is good for spamming, which is what his kit is basically. It's just spam. And his ultimate is a ring of fire, which reveals anyone inside of it, and if they get caught in the fire they take 45 damage per tick. Next up we got Pathfinder. The Pathfinder's passive, I mean he doesn't really have one, to be honest, let's be real. He's part of the skirmisher class, so he can scan care packages, but when he scans a care package he gets his ult back immediately. His ultimate is a zipline that goes about 270 meters or something like that, and he has a grapple hook which he can use for movement. Just watch out though, this Pathfinder has one of the biggest hitboxes in the game and should probably take that fortified. As long as he has fortified, he's an S tier character. Next up in A tier we got Ashe. Now Ashe's passive is that she can see all of the dead bodies on the map, which is pretty good for figuring out where you want to rotate next to get some KP. Her port is just like Wraith's, but shorter and one way, and she doesn't need to get to where Ashe wants the exit to be. She's part of the assault class, which means she can carry more ammo and has access to the assault bins. Her tactical is the weakest part of her kit, very situational, and if somebody's caught in the snare and they're free kill, but it doesn't have much effect at those longer ranges. So ideally you want to be using Ashe in that same playstyle as a skirmisher. Next up in A tier we got Maggie. Maggie is again an assault character. She has the red bins and extra ammo. Her drill, which is her ability, is basically a thermite that goes through a wall. Anyone standing in it will be getting burned. Her ultimate is extremely quick to recharge and drops out little speed boosts along the path it takes. Any enemy hit by the ball will get concussed and launch into the air, which is a pretty free kill for Maggie to pick up on, or just to delay some time. And at the top of A tier we got Bangalore. Bangalore's ultimate is Creeping Barrage, which drops down rockets from the sky, which explode after like 5 or 3 seconds and do 40 damage each explosion. She has her smokes, which are pretty powerful if you're on mouse and keyboard, as they deny aim assist. But you gotta watch out for those digi threats, as if somebody has a digi threat and is on the other side and you don't have it, you're dead. Passive is double time, which means when she gets shot at, she gets a speed boost for a couple seconds, and it's the fastest speed boost in the game. Bangalore's a part of the assault class, which again means she has the red bins, and she has the extra ammo. Now we're going to be moving on to the S tier. Alright, coming in first in S tier, we're going to have Newcastle. Now Newcastle is the second strongest support, as he has a knockdown shield that he pulls out while reviving, which is extremely good for getting the revive off, as they can't cancel it, as Seer Qs don't work on it, and they can't shoot you to get you off the res as long as you're looking at them. His tactical is a shield that you can throw down and control by pressing his ability button again, and it will go to wherever you're looking. Now you can do this whilst reviving, healing, shooting, fucking playing with your deck. You can do that all the time. Now his ultimate allows you to fly to a teammate or death box or down teammate and throw down 3 pillars for you to use as cover. And they get electrified, so that if anyone comes close to it, in the space that's electrified, they get stunned and they're the freest kill. Just watch out, as all his abilities can be destroyed. And of course, his class passive is support, meaning he can open blue support bins, and he can craft banners. Now next up, in the S tier, we're going to have Loba. Now Loba's ultimate is the Black Market, which allows you to grab infinite ammo. It allows you to also grab 2 items, whether that be a weapon, attachment, healable, or shields. Loba's tactical is the Ender Pearl, as I like to call it. It basically is an Ender Pearl. You chuck that shit and you go to where it lands. There's a cast animation, so you need to watch out for it, as you need to wait for it to go from you to where you want it to go. And you're pretty easy to be shot in that window, as you put your gun away and you fucking fiddle with your fingers and I don't know, look at your nails. I don't even know why she pulls that animation. Her passive allows you to see red, gold and purple items through walls, which allows you to cut down on the mid-time looting. On top of that, you have that ultimate and just find what you want. Now this crafting banners part combines with the tactical, the bracelet super well, as she finds it the easiest to get in and out of fights with the Ender Pearl. And next up in the S tier, we're going to have Wraith. Her Wraith's passive is that she's schizophrenic. Her class passive is Skirmisher, meaning she can see what's in supply drops before they hit the ground. Her tactical, which is Into the Void, has a wind up time and puts you into the void. Now when you're in the void, there's a purple trail that comes out your bum, and you're invisible and invincible to any bullets, and you get a speed boost. So it's extremely well for getting in and out of situations. Her ultimate is the portal, which can go about like 200 meters, I'm pretty sure now, with the recent buff, and allows you to place an entrance to a portal and eventually continue to speed up more and more as you move, and eventually place your second exit where you want it to be. Anyone, including teammates and enemies, can use this portal and go from point A to point B. It's a pretty simple, straightforward ultimate, but it's one of the most powerful in the game. But it's not as powerful as next up in the S tier is Valkyrie. Valkyrie's tactical is some missiles that do 25 damage and stun like an arc star. Are pretty easy to dodge though, however, so watch out and make sure you land them, and you also cannot use them indoors. Passive is the jetpack, and our class passive is Skirmisher. The jetpack allows you to fly up and down or horizontally until it runs out of fuel. You're pretty easy to get shot whilst doing this, so watch out, but it can be good for reaching higher ground and taking those off angles. And her ultimate is just a jump tower in your arse. Like you just fucking, you pull that out, your teammates can attach to you, fly up into the air. Not as high as a jump tower though, but it's extremely good to get out of those sticky situations and into a better position. This is easily the best repositioning tool in the game, so if you're running a Valkyrie, you're at a high advantage. And the second last character in S tier is Seer. They nerfed them, but stupid dumbass is still one of the best in the game, if not the best. Passive is a heartbeat, where you can find out where anyone is, as a 2-second delay though, and beats a lot slower. But if you look in the top left to your minimap, you can counteract all the nerfs that were made to his passive, which is just broken. His tactical no longer shows the health as long as it used to, but it can still cancel Forgive Bubbles, walls, your mother, and it can cancel heals, reses, and even sometimes abilities. The only revives it cannot cancel though is Newcastle and Lifelines. Now Seer's ultimate, if you walk inside the sphere that he places down and you're not in Seer's team, you get revealed by a little square on your chest and they can see you for as long as possible, which is absolutely broken for team fights, meaning you can't lose them as long as they're in that sphere, which is the reason Seer completely outclasses Bloodhound, Crypto and Vantage, as he has the infinite scan space, and his class passive of course is the People Beacon, allowing you to see where everyone is on the map just by scanning it. But watch out, as I haven't mentioned this yet, if you scan that beacon, everyone else knows where you are as well. Now last, to finish up and round up the tier list, top S tier, Catalyst. Catalyst is stupidly flexible. She's part of the controller class, meaning she can scan the beacon and find out where the next zone is. Her passive allows her to rebuild doors that have been destroyed, which are normally just a 2-hit, and she can also reinforce doors that are already there and make them 4-hit to break down. This is extremely useful for when you need to sit and play a little bit more passively in those final zones. Her tactical is the tracks, which can be used aggressively and defensively, as they can deny people to take aggressive angles, as they get 20 damage per tick for standing in them, which is a stupid amount of damage. It can be used as cover as well, as there is a wee ball to destroy the tracks that take 300 damage before they destroy. Last but not least, we have our ultimate, which places a wall that rises up from the ground and cannot be looked through by Digifrets. It can be looked through by Seer's ultimate and shot through, but watch out however, as if you swing through it, you get slowed and nearsighted, meaning you're a pretty easy target for Catalyst to take out. Yeah guys, unfortunately that is the video. The meta right now is looking like Seer, Valkyrie and Catalyst, or either Wraith, Loba and Watson if you're playing competitive. And for ranked, honestly, if you just stick to the S and A tier characters, you should be fine. I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I'd even say Horizon now, looking back on it. Horizon's still pretty flexible. But anyway, if you guys have enjoyed and watched it all the way through, please make sure you do like and subscribe, because this shit took me ages to make, man. But it was so worth it, because it was good as I managed to just play all the characters, and even some that I haven't played in ages. Like I can't remember the last time I've played I've never played Mirage. I played in my training range, that's a lie. But I can't remember the last time I've played Fuse, to be honest. Or even Vantage. Vantage, I thought she was complete ass, but she's like a dark horse, I'm not gonna lie. She's more powerful than everyone thinks. Anyway, make sure you guys go check out the rest of my videos. I'm trying to stream on YouTube, but I can't do it until I get a good viewership through my streams, and I'm wanting to do that through YouTube first, and make sure people come over to the streams. So yeah, like and subscribe and send this video to your friends. But anyway, in a bit, love y'all.